Welcome to the program. Now, today we are coming to you from Lodwar in Turkana County, or call it County number 23. Not because Lodwar is abroad, but because we have a crew here, that is Jeremiah Eregai and Josephat Ekiru, who went to Rwanda and brought us very interesting daring abroad features. And this is a glimpse into what is coming up. Mount Kenya University VC, Kigali branch, Professor Edwin Odhuno's footprints in the world.
I've had the good fortune of working in the US, of working in Romania, and working in Tanzania.
From an intern at Kenya Times in the early 80s to a global scholar. Also on this show, Frederick Korir's Nyamachoma tricks in Kigali. On My Magical Kenya, a weekend boat ride on Lake Turkana. All these features by Chams Media Lodwar team. Very well, we begin with Professor Edwin Othuno, a distinguished scholar who is now the Vice Chancellor Designate of Mount Kenya University, Kigali branch. A scholar who has seen the world, literally speaking. You'll find his footprints in various corners of the world, including North America, Asia, Europe, and Africa. Jeremiah Eregai takes us through the journey of Professor Odhuno. Take a look.
Meet Professor Edwin Othuno, the Vice Chancellor Designate of Mount Kenya University in Rwanda. A scholar whose footprints can be found in many parts of the world, from Africa to the US, Asia to Europe.
I was born in Ugenya, but raised in Nairobi, went to Kileleshwa Primary School, and then got an opportunity to pursue secondary school studies at Starehe Boys Center. When Starehe was at its peak, I was fortunate to be there for 6 years, and from there, after completing Form 6, I was fortunate again to get a scholarship.
His first ever trip out of Kenya came when he was an intern journalist at Kenya Times newspaper at the age of 20. This was in 1984 when he boarded a plane for the first time in his life to the US for further studies.
I landed in the US on a scholarship for studies. I was enrolled at the University of the District of Columbia in Washington, D.C. I studied there for my first degree, then proceeded to do master's and postgraduate studies at Morgan State University in Baltimore, Maryland.
Professor Othuno's first degree was a BA in General Management. He later obtained his master's degree in Science in International Management. The alumnus of Starehe Boys Center kept rising. He was lucky to get yet another scholarship, this time for doctoral studies in hospitality in human resource management at the University of California.
Then at that time, I was working with Marriott Corporation, Marriott International, in the Washington, D.C. area. I worked with them for about 13 years. They sponsored me to take doctoral studies, so they paid for my scholarship, and I obtained a PhD in 1997.
America is perceived to be a land of milk and honey, and many students who go for studies there yearn to stay, but Professor Othuno chose to return home.
I opted to come back to Kenya. It was not an easy choice, but I thought I had spent enough time in the US, and I wanted to come back to support my mother and other siblings. So I came back to Kenya, and I stayed in Nairobi for 6 months. I had been offered a job at Maseno University. I resisted to take up the job because I was fresh from the US. I did not see why I should go to a rural university. So I stayed in Nairobi for 6 months until I ran out of money. When I ran out of money, I remembered that I had a job. So I opted to go to Maseno University, and they gave me a job in the a school called Soft Constec that was created by Professor Segot and her colleagues.
The professor of hospitality started lecturing at Maseno University in 1999. But another opportunity for a much bigger job abroad came knocking after he joined the American Hospitality Academy that was based in South Carolina.
They were opening a college in Romania. So they asked me to be a principal, the first principal of their college in Romania. So I went there. That was, I think, 2009, thereabout. So I helped them put in place structures for running a private university in Romania. It was a project supported by Americans and Romanians. But after some time, there was a problem between the American investors and the Romanian investors, and my stay there was no longer tenable. So I opted to come back to Kenya. When I came back to Kenya, I went back to Maseno University briefly.
And later got another teaching job at Kampala International University in Dar es Salaam as Director of Academics until 2011, when he joined the Mount Kenya University in Nairobi as the lecturer in the School of Business and Economics. He later became the Dean of the School of Economics, then the Dean of the School of Hospitality. From there, he was posted to Kigali as Vice Chancellor Designate, Mount Kenya University, Kigali branch.
Mount Kenya University was already in Rwanda. It was a campus of Mount Kenya University in Kenya. So I was appointed to support the process of gaining autonomy from Kenya. So that was in 2016.
Somewhere in Githongori, where Chairman Chams was born, the owner man.
He is now heading a university with a student population of about 3,000. The Vice Chancellor says he is proud that the university has contributed to social economic development in Rwanda.
The campus has grown, and we are now on progress to attaining accreditation in Rwanda. We have been operating as a cross-border campus, meaning that our students undertake studies in the Kenyan qualification framework. So when they graduate, they are considered as graduates of a foreign institution. So the process of accreditation will now ensure that we are recognized in Rwanda within the Rwanda National Qualification Framework. I've had the good fortune of working in Kenya, of working in the US, of working in Romania, and working in Tanzania. One thing that I can say for sure and without fear of contradiction is that in any country where systems work well, things fall in place without a lot of stress, without a lot of anxiety. That is at least my personal experience, but from the perspective of the institution. I love new challenges in new environments outside Kenya. So I was able to adjust to the Rwandan environment very easily. The language is still a challenge. A lot of Kenyans come here, and within a very short time, they are able to speak Kinyarwanda.
As we wrapped up the interview, the professor spared time to show us around the university.
As a matter of fact, the School of Nursing is one of the niche areas that we are looking at along other programs. So we have the School of Nursing, and it has been gaining popularity a lot. It is on the growth trajectory for this institution.
This is our skills lab laboratory.
Remember Jackie Lumbasi of Royal FM, who we previously featured on this show?
Good morning and welcome to Kigali in the morning. Thank you so much for waking up with us. Glad you've made
well, this
choice.
radio station is a product of Mount Kenya University. The Vice Chancellor is proud that the station has grown to become one of the leading radio stations in Rwanda.
Rwanda is known as the land of 1,000 hills and mountains. Professor Edwin Othuno has flown across thousands of hills and mountains across the globe. Not to forget the name of his university, Mount Kenya.
Thank you, Jeremiah, for that interesting report from Kigali. Indeed, Professor Odhuno's journey is a journey worth being proud of. We now take a short break. When we return, Frederick Korir's passion for nyama choma business in Kigali. Welcome back. We join Jeremiah Eregai again with another story from Kigali, and this one is about a Kenyan who is excelling in nyama choma business. Take a look.
It's a busy Saturday for Frederick Korir, the owner of Roasters restaurant in Kigali. Korir has been in the nyama choma business in Kigali city for about 4 years. Korir, who is an accountant by training, has no other job except this business. Unlike for many who crave for white-collar jobs, he chose to roll up his sleeves in the restaurant business.
They like my place because I'm majoring in nyama choma strictly. And before this country, Rwanda, they didn't have nyama choma. It's Kenyan who brought nyama choma. And once they've learned that there's nyama choma, they've tasted it, they've liked it, we have a traffic flowing.
Korir's clientele is from across East Africa.
I have both Kenyans, Ugandans, Tanzanians, and Rwandese, the locals themselves. It's a mixture of customers, like East Africa, I can say.
Korir's workers are all locals. I sought to find out why.
Here in Rwanda, you're not allowed to employ foreigners. You must give employment to the locals. So all my employees are locals. It's a requirement by the law.
Korir relocated to Kigali in 2017 to take up a new job as an accountant at a joint that was at that time known as Car Wash. It was owned by a Kenyan.
Here in Kigali, I worked for 3 years with the same people. After 3 years, I decided to go and start mine because I had believed in myself that I'm able to continue the same business because I've been in the field. Though not real, like I'm not an Italian, I've never done any course with the Utalii, but since I've been in the field, I gained experience. I was not only working in the office accounting job, but also coming out to production service. I was helping, and I saw here I have an opportunity I can do now on my own.
He had developed passion for nyama choma when he worked for a restaurant in Nairobi.
Where I used to work, it was a very big restaurant. It was a Kenyan restaurant, but a very big one. And there we had so many clients. And the restaurant was like big one, was like VIP. So I was able to see some clients who were willing to come and have nyama choma at that place, but due to their pockets, they could not. So I saw an opportunity that let me just decide to cater for these small clients. I can go elsewhere, produce the same quality of food, but at a lower price. And that's exactly what I did.
His parents were opposed to his relocation to Rwanda, so Korir traveled to Kigali without informing them.
I told them when I've arrived, because I didn't know where I was going. It was very hard to tell them that I'm going to Rwanda. Rwanda was known for genocide, people killing one another. So I said, let me just go on my own. Once I reach, I'll tell them. And they received it very well later. Yeah, they received it very well later. A month later, I sent them something and they were so happy. They saw it was better than before.
Korir hails from Bomet County in Kenya.
Primary, I went to my village primary called Cheboni Primary School. High school, I went also to nearby school called Tenwek High School. It's within Bomet. After that, I went to Nairobi. I went and did my CPA. After my CPA, I got some jobs here in Nairobi until 2007 when I came to Rwanda.
He lives with his family in Rwanda, but he has not forgotten home.
I've been able to invest back at home. I have a small house. I built a house. I have some few investments there, like some plots there. I think I've developed one. So those are some of the things. Yeah, I'm also I've been able to get to school one of my younger brother to university.
Rwanda to Korir feels like a second home.
Because I'm here with my whole family. I'll stay here more until some other time. Yeah, when things doesn't allow. But for now, I'm very comfortable here.
But what are his future plans?
My plans are, here I want maybe to expand because I'm planning to have to stay here for quite some time. But eventually when the age comes, of course I'll go back to home, but my dream is to continue the same business. For now, I'm comfortable here until the day I will go back. But I'll continue the same business because this is my specialty now.
In conclusion, Korir never regrets the decision he made.
Life is about risk-taking. What you feel like doing, what your heart is telling you, you go and do it. Because don't give out, I cannot go, I don't know that country, I don't know how there was war, or the country is very far, I'm going away from my family. Just take a risk and go, and you'll succeed. Because what your heart tells you, do it, you must do it.
Thank you, Jeremiah Eregai, again for that report from Kigali. We now move into our last segment of the show, My Magical Kenya. And today it's brought to you by Lorraine Nanok Edukon. Take a look.
My Magical Kenya, brought to you by Chams Adventures.
Today's magical experience takes us from Lodwar town all the way to the world's largest desert lake. I'm talking about Lake Turkana. And after our journey via the Lodwar-Car local highway, through the hot sand and beautiful palm trees, we arrive at Longet village by the shores of the lake. It is now time to enjoy a breathtaking and adventurous boat ride across the lake to a touristic village. I'm told there is so much to see and learn throughout the ride.
Anaweza kujionea mandege kama hii, wanatembea kupiga mapicha. Mandege hapa iko kila aina. Iko ndege kama hii kubwa inaitwa Umo. Iko ndege kama inaitwa Ekolocho, ile ndogo ile yake ni mrefu. Iko ndege inaitwa Ngalumeo. Ile anataka kuingia kwa maji sana. Nikitoa hii maji, anataka hii maji. Ndio hii. Naona anataka kuingia hapo. Anatoka nayo. Huwa anakula samaki hapa ndani hapa kwa maji.
Apart from the beautiful birds, there is more. Look, the children are out in the sun enjoying a swim, as well as fishermen out in the water hoping for a good catch.
Wateja hapa wakitaka kuona kitu wanaonanga samaki inaitwa helipad. Kama kubwa hii. Wakiona wakipata watu wanatoa nje, wanapiga picha, wananunua pia.
The journey to Daraja village is about 15 minutes.
Dakika kidogo. Unaona sasa tumetoka na tumefika sasa hapa Daraja hapa. Tumekaribia.
We alight from the boat ready for more adventure on this tiny village. Meanwhile, other passengers take their time to offload their goods ready for their next destination. Here there are lots and lots of activities including boat making.
Kama hapa Daraja inaonekana kupatikana samaki ndogo ndogo. Ile hii inaitwa tubole au kine, kama hiyo ndio inapatikana hapa. Ndio hata watu wanakula sasa.
Our tour guide informs me that they enjoy interacting with both local and international customers.
Na wageni wakitoka mbali, mahali kama Lodwar, wakikuja hapa, huwa tunatembea na sisi, tukienda hata Moite, Yangalani, yani milima hii Choro, huwa tunaendanga mpaka Sibiloi. Tukienda na wazungu, wakikuja tukienda milimani. Tukifika huko milimani huwa tulipanga 1000. Boat kama hii mtu mmoja analipisha 200. Watu wawili wanalipisha 400.
Wow. And that concludes our magic across Lake Turkana all the way from Longech up until here in Daraja in Turkana County. Many thanks for watching.
Thank you, Lorraine, for sharing your magical experience. On that note, we come to the end of the show. And remember, this was a special edition from Lodwar, not because Lodwar is abroad, but because our crew that is based here in Lodwar went to Kigali and brought us very interesting daring abroad stories. Be sure to join us again next week for another inspiring show. My name is Alex Chamwada, and many thanks for watching.